Hello, everyone. Welcome to our course, Green Economy from China's Stories. In the last lesson, we introduced the birth, origin, and development of ecological economics, compared the differences between it and other disciplines, learned the meritorious deeds of Mr. Wang Songpei, the founder of ecological economics in China, and exchanged ideas on China's stories about ecological economics. We now have got a broad and general picture about China's ecological economics. Obviously, the birth and development of this discipline can't do without the joint efforts of scientists and scholars from all over the world. This is still a hot topic today. Here is a video. The Emission Gap Report, 2019, released by United Nations Environment Program.
世界环境规划署最新的2019排放差距报告26号出炉。报告指出，2020至2030年间，各国需要付出5倍的努力，全球温室气体排放每年下降7.6%，才有望实现全球相对于工业化前水平升温不超过1.5摄氏度的目标。
报告指出，按照目前的情况，本世纪全球气温预计上升3.4到3.9摄氏度。 这将带来更为广泛的、具有破坏性的气候变化影响。
But in 2017 and 2018, we don't have the 19 numbers yet. Emissions have been going up, and the CO2 emissions have been going up the last year by 2%. So that's actually above the average of the last 10 years.
排放差距主要强调应对全球变暖的既定目标与现实之间的差距。在过去的10年间，温室气体排放以每年1.5%的速度增长。2018年。 包括土地使用变化在内的温室气体排放总量达到553亿吨。联合国环境规划署执行主任英格安德森指出，要实现1.5摄氏度的控温目标，各国需要付出5倍的努力，在排放方面采取具体、逐步的行动。
Now, because of climate procrastination, which we have essentially had during these 10 years, we are looking at a 7.6% reduction. Every year. Is that possible? Absolutely. Will it take political will? Yes. Will we need to have the private sector lean in? Yes. But the science tells us that we can do this.
根据报告显示，20国集团成员的总排放量占全球总排放量的78%。根据巴黎协定，发展中国家仍有权增加排放。 因此，发达国家必须更快地减少排放。发达国家不能仅仅通过向新兴经济体出口碳污染产品来减少本国排放，这就需要改变能源生产和人们的生活方式。
And we should revert those numbers to be successful in implementation of the Paris Agreement. And the consumers are also interested in finding savings, and the governments have started offering them win-win solutions where they can save money and we can reach climate-friendly solutions.
报告提示，2020年后，如果各国仍然行动延迟，那么之后每年的减排目标将会变得越来越昂贵和不实际。
在这份最新的排放差距报告当中，也列举了20国集团当中7个成员在未来应对气候变化的决心和行动。这里也包括中国所提出来的，在未来禁止一切新的燃煤电厂，持续的支持和鼓励可再生能源、公共交通系统等5项具体的措施。 国际组织和机构再次地强调，2020年至2030年是尤为关键的10年，全球范围内应对气候变化的意愿和行动不可缺少且迫在眉睫。央视记者瑞士日内瓦报道。
Therefore, countries in the world have to double their efforts to achieve the targeted goals. Now, let's study and discuss the current ecological economics from China-based study of the ecological issues. Introduction of foreign ecological models, climate and resource environment issues. Coupling synergy between co-environment and other systems and ecological economic system. Firstly, we come to the China-based study of the ecological issues. At the current stage, We are developing both ecological civilization and industrial civilization, and it's difficult to develop industrial civilization under the ceiling limits of consumption saturation, resource constraints, and asset stock saturation. China must develop towards the paradigm of ecological civilization. The era of human civilization begins with the primitive society and covers the agricultural society, industrial society, ecological society, and the undergoing knowledge society. China is currently in the great period of building an ecological society. To develop ecological civilization, we must take the road and form the framework of sustainable development. From the general perspective, the ecological civilization framework can be constructed from ecological economics, ecological environment, ecological resources, ecological residents, ecological culture, and ecological civilization system. The second point is introduction of international ecological models. Low carbon economy, circular economy, green economy, and green development share the same ecological view. To introduce to China, these concepts must be compared with and used as references for each other. Firstly, they share the same system view. Green development, green economy, circular economy, and low-carbon economy share the same system view. That is, the man and nature depend on and influence each other. Secondly, they also share the same development view and course. That is, production activities must be carried out within the carrying capacity of resources and environment in order to achieve economic development. Thirdly, they still share the same production view, namely, same production method of resource conservation, improved resource and energy efficiency, and clean production. Of course, there are differences among low-carbon economy, circular economy, green economy, and green development, and their focuses vary slightly. This figure shows their slightly different focuses. In addition, low-carbon economy, circular economy, green economy, and green development are all transitional in nature. The development path, spatial pattern, institutional arrangement, technological progress, and development model all change along with technical transition and evolution of development view. The third point is climate, resources, and environmental issues. The climate change has obvious impact and especially obvious effects on the ecosystem. Global climate change has placed the human and ecosystem under an unprecedented survival crisis. With intensification of global warming, the world has been plagued frequently by extreme weather, such as drought in recent years. We use the PSR analysis framework to construct indicator variables from drought pressure, agricultural water use, and social response. This frontier study on the drought's impact on the agricultural economic system incorporates the social adaptability and reveals the impact effect of climate change on ecosystem. The issue of agricultural emission reduction is a noticeable topic. Fossil energy combustion claims for 90.4% of China's CO2 emissions. And agricultural activities, nitrous oxide, account for 56.62% and 73.79% of total emissions respectively. Through measuring the macroeconomic cost of developing high-cost wind power in Shanghai with DN-DC model, developed with computable general equilibrium model and relevant databases, Dr. Zhao Zijian of Shanghai Jiaotong University observes that present emission reduction studies and practice both focus on energy utilization and agricultural emission reduction, has received little attention. Therefore, the issue of agricultural emission reduction is worthy of high attention. This figure shows the path chart of agricultural emission reduction. Fourth, evaluation of resource and environmental carrying capacity. In recent years, the ecological footprint analysis method has been widely used in sustainable development, evaluation research, and is extensively applying in various fields, including the macro evaluation of general sustainable development and regional resource utilization, specific construction project planning, and policy evaluation research. This figure shows a curve of urban resource and environmental carrying capacity. It shows that the resource environment has certain carrying capacity that limits our production and life. Fourth, the coupling synergy between the ecological environment and other systems. Eco-environment economy coupling systems have multiple patterns, such as single-dimensional circulation, multidimensional composite, or multidimensional circulation, and can be measured from different angles. Firstly, the single-dimensional relationship between ecology, environment, and economy can be measured from a single dimension. That is, the study of ecological dimension. The research on ecological dimension covers ecosystem health diagnosis based on such indicators as ecological asset value, ecological pressure, ecological carrying capacity, ecological capacity, as well as regional ecological risk measurement, regional landscape changes, and landscape security patterns, regional ecological security monitoring, and early warning and regional ecology management, etc. The figure on the right shows the D-link and RE-link, conceptual models for analysis of the ecology-economy-environment coupling synergy. Their relationship can also be explored from the composite synergy of ecology-environment-economy coupling synergy. The analysis can be carried out through research of coupling and correlation model, coordinated development model, and economic dimension. The figure below shows the composite track about their relationship marked with ellipses. We can see that the economic dimension covers employment issue, income change of farmers, land finance, local financial efficiency, government actions and regulations in the rapidly urbanized areas, which may affect ecology-environment-economic system coupling strategy. We can further analyze the coordinated single dimension of the coupling of ecological environment and urbanization. The left and right figures show the time pattern of single-dimensional changes and 4 possible development patterns. We can also analyze from the composite ecological environment urbanization coupling synergy. This figure displays the PSR framework of the coupling effect between regional urbanization and ecological environment. It shows that through the connection between urbanization and the ecological environment, ecological effects and population health are correlated to each other, which is reflected in the multidimensional relationship in the ecological environment urbanization coupling synergy. Now, let's move on to the 5th part, ecological economic system. Environmental policy is a very important instrumental variable, and its components, like publicity and market failure of resources and environment, the externality of environmental problems, and market failure, the limitation of environmental subjects, and market failure, the scarcity and asymmetry of information, transaction costs, and market failures. Pigot's theory and Coase's theorem and other environmental and economic strategies provide a solid theoretical basis for its formulation. In terms of time, the World Bank has generally classified environmental policies into market-based and non-market-based and government-regulated environmental policies, including the market application of reduced subsidies, environment and social user fees, as well as the creation of market ownership, property rights and decentralization, and tradable license certificates and rights, including environmental regulations, standards, and prohibitions. China has also classified environmental policies and applied them in practice. They can be classified by economic means, by natural actions, by public participation, by command control, and other government administrative controls. In the process of developing circular economy, low-carbon economy, and green economy in China, many policies have been implemented, including policies on green investment and financing, green finance and tax, green pricing, green industry development, public participation support, and rewards and penalties, etc. This table shows China's green development policy system, including policies on green investment and financing, green financial and tax, green pricing, green industry development, and so on. In addition to the green development policies, we should also pay attention to the framework of ecological civilization system, namely the so-called 4 beams and 8 pillars framework for development of ecological civilization, where the ecological civilization must be developed by all with strong responsibility, based on the government-market-public interaction. In addition to the research on ecological civilization policy, we will carry out more researches on the evaluation and design of ecological, economic, environmental, and ecological policies, game model, context analysis model, and general equilibrium model of calculation, etc., are commonly used to analyze the ecological and environmental policies. We once conducted a study with a computable general equilibrium model to analyze the interaction between ecological and environmental policies and multiple policies, and found that these policies may play trade-off roles. Today, we have learned and discussed some hot issues on ecological economics. We have made some preliminary observations on the syncretization of ecological issues, the introduction of international ecological models, climate and resources, environmental policies, ecosystem coupling synergy, and ecological economic systems. Hopefully, you can grasp and form better views on the theories and development of ecological economics. Thank you. See you next time.